When you design ads for social media, it's unusual to design just one. Usually you have to take one and turn it into a series in different shapes, different sizes, and different formats. And this can be challenging when you have exactly one image that has to work in all of your different sizes and shapes. Most of the time, and you kind of see that example here, I have one photo, you can see how well it would fit in here, possibly Instagram. Often you can resolve this by simply cropping or resizing. But then every once in a while something will throw you a wobbly and you have to get a little bit more creative. What I want to do is I want to use this particular photo in a video format, which if I switch over and show you what it looks like when I start using it in Adobe Premiere Rush, it takes up exactly half the screen. Now I could stretch it to fill, but then the legs, the feet, the flag take up the whole screen. I actually want this white space, but I have to figure out how to fill this big black abyss over here on this side. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back to Photoshop and we are going to use a special tool in Photoshop called Content Aware Fill. So we're going to start with that original image. The first thing I need to do is I need to make sure that it is sized properly with the right resolution for my output. So to do that, I'm going to go up to the image menu and choose image size. And what I need for the screen size is a 1280 by 720, and you'll see that is significantly way too big. So I am going to make, because I want to preserve the height of this one, so I had that white space on the bottom, I'm going to make my height 728. Well, and you'll see that my width is 756 and I need 1280, so I need a whole lot more width, but I don't need any more height. So I'm going to go ahead and click OK. And the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to use my keyboard shortcut of the Apple key, the Command key, and plus. Tap that to make that a little bit bigger. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do what we call extend the canvas size to make up that extra space on the side. To do that, I'm going to go back to the image menu and choose, instead of image size, I'm going to choose canvas size. Now I want my extra space to go to the left side. So I'm going to look at this little dialog box, and on this bottom there's this little grid thing. It says anchor. Well, what I want to do is I want to anchor this side. I want to keep this side but add to the left. So I'm going to click in the center bottom to anchor my image to the right. Then I am going to change my width to the width that I need, which is 1280 pixels. Once I do that, I tell it OK. Now instead of a white or a black abyss, we have a white abyss. Here's where it gets fun. What we're going to do is we're going to use some of this color here to fill in over on this side. And what I will do to do that is I'm going to go over to my tools in my toolbar, and there is a rectangular marquee tool. It's a little rectangle with a dotted border. I'm going to click on that, and I'm going to come down into my document window, and I am going to click and drag a marquee around the spot that I want to fill. I get the marching ants, so that shows you what you've selected. Now we're going to go up to the edit menu, and about 1/3 of the way down, we're going to choose Content Aware Fill. And you can ignore this. It's just a little hint on how to use this tool. We have our normal window, we have our preview window, and we have some settings. What we're going to do is we're going to use the brush. It's this big circle that you see. You're going to use it over here to tell Photoshop what colors you want to use to fill in the blank space that you've selected. So I'm just going to start selecting. I got to be careful what I select. If I started selecting some of that American flag, it's going to show up over in my white space where I don't want it. But I'm just going to grab a big chunk of this gray, as much as I can, and then I'm going to release my mouse and watch this middle panel, and you'll see that it fills in. Does a pretty good job of it. Usually does a pretty seamless job of it. It looks like I might have a white strip down the middle. I might not have had my selection over far enough, but I'm going to tell it OK. And I'm going to deselect. I'm going to do that by hitting my Command key and the letter D. And you see I got a pretty good seamless addition of the gray. So now I can save this and I can bring it into that background and use that as my video background, and it fits the space. You can try this tip to redo. You can create more vertical space, more horizontal space. It tends to work best when you have some fairly uniform color or pattern to fill in the space. But it should help you with those weird sized ads and filling in where you don't have something to fill in.